Hi, it's Jan Beta, and today I have this little package from Markus, who also has a YouTube channel about retro computing and retro gaming stuff. Die Pixelspieler. Apparently it's in German, but if you are able to understand German or just like to watch nice games, you should definitely check out his channel. I will link it in here. And he was so kind. He bought a Commodore 64 and got this with it. And he has no need for it because he's going to use an SD to ISE adapter. And what it is a really crusty 1541-2 disk drive. Let's take a closer look at it. So yeah, this is basically what these things looked like. They were used. Oh, gives a nice squeaking sound. Yeah, I think it is supposed to work. Didn't get a power supply with it. I don't know if Markus has one or if it just came without a power supply. Luckily, I have one from my working 1541-2. Look at that. It's really scratchy. It's just... yeah. And it has some nice markings to make sure the cables go into the right ports here. Yeah. Nice. It's made in Japan. All the good stuff's made in Japan. So yeah, let's before I even power this up, I want to take a look inside because I'm curious. So let's open it up. Haha, shall we? And this should come apart by just removing these 4 screws here. And then I should be able to take off all the case. So now, yeah, it just... wow, this is dusty. And it doesn't smell very nice. So yeah, here we are on the inside. And yeah, as you can see, there's quite some dust here. Should just blow it away or something. And the head seems fine. And the mechanic, yeah, needs some lubrication here. It seems quite dry. I know it's not perfectly dry, but it's quite hard. I will use some silicone there. That's probably what makes the squirking sound there. Wow. And it's a bit broken here. The little lid here is broken. But otherwise, I doubt that this was open at all, the way that it looks. So yeah, this looks reasonably okay, I would say. I think I'll clean this up and yeah, then try if it works. So I decided to take this apart because it stings really badly of smoke and stuff. And I'm just gonna give it a little wash. And in case you're wondering, you can just pull this thing here off if you do it gently. It's just held there with the little ring that locks it in place. You can easily pull it off without breaking it. Yeah, so... and this thing here with also... this is the LED lights assembly here. Also take this away. Yeah, so here we are. Power switch is here. Let's see. Yeah, and power's on, no problem, I guess. So let's see if we can read the disk. Yeah, for that purpose, I have my Commodore 64 here, of course. Turn this on, then yeah, and it resets. And let's see if we can. Yeah, and it even spins up and everything. So let's try with the disk, I guess. I need a bit more force here. So, okay, this should be in there. Let's see. And it's not reading. Of course it's not reading. No. It's spinning and some things... Oh, this feels really dry here. So maybe... Yeah, no, there we go. The head was stuck. We should lubricate the whole thing. And now it reads the directory, no problem. Let's see if we can load up a game there. Yeah, it even sounds okay. We should really clean the head and lubricate it and stuff like that. But yeah, it works. Definitely works. So it's definitely worth cleaning the case there and trying to bring this back to its original beauty and make a power supply for it. So that's what I'm gonna do, I guess. Okay, let's see what we can do. I think I'll just give it the case a bath in soapy water, or with my the Sillet Bank stuff I used. I used that a lot on things that smell like nicotine and have this yellowish film on them, which this clearly has, to get rid of the nicotine and the tar that's on top there. Yeah, this is a really nice game. This the German version of Cauldron is the English title, I guess, from Palace Software. So there are some screws here. This one that also has a little ground connection on it. So we should put that back on there, I guess, because it's the internal grounding for the whole chassis here. So let's see. Yeah, this is the whole drive assembly. So that's the drive. Oh, there's the circuit board. Let's take a close up. And interestingly, there's quite a few components that we also had on the old 1541. There's the ROM, I think. There's the 6502 processor and the 6522 VIA chips. And yeah, there's a little crystal and there's our 74 logic. Yeah. This seems quite familiar to me, I guess. I think I could replace the little capacitors there and take a look on the backside of the board for refurbishing this. So yeah, this was made in 88 or 89, I think. It was 41st week of 1988. There's a little surface mount jobby here, Sanjo chip. Don't know what that's all about. Probably replaces the rest of the circuitry in the old 1541. These are mostly compatible with each other, I guess. The old 1541 and this one behave the same to the Commodore 64. This one is a bit more modern, and I think it's also a bit faster, but I might be mistaken there. Maybe I'll double check that. So I took out 3 screws, and that's the whole circuit board coming loose there. Oh, and I should definitely redo some of these connections here. Wow, they all seem pretty messed up at first glance. I should redo these. Otherwise, seems okay. There's this little cage here, which I also put. It's a bit dusty. And I'm gonna just, I'll just put this into some soapy water. Oh, and before I forget that, there's this sticker on here with the rose on it. I don't know. I don't particularly like it, so I think I'll just try to remove it carefully. Oh, there we go. Just fell off. So while the case of this drive is soaking in some soapy water, let me give the insides a little attention here and redo some of the solder joints on the connectors. That's it's quite a typical thing that these come loose or break, because they are always wiggled on, because you constantly connect and disconnect things there. So these are under mechanical stress for quite a bit, and quite often they become brittle or have little cracks in them, and yeah, they don't make a reliable connection anymore. So I'm going to resolder them anyway. And what I'm also going to do, I think, is to replace the 3 little caps on here, just to be sure. It's 3 of the same kind. It's 3 times the 10 microfarad, 25 volts. And you want to make sure, it's not the best way to do it that I'm doing here. You want to make sure that you get some flux on there. I'm using solder with some flux in it. So these front things here are just for holding it in place, I guess. These are the connections. They are also numbered on the circuit board. So that's the IEC connections here. And as you can see, these IEC connections are just connected together. The 5 is connected to the 5, the 3 is connected to the 3. So it doesn't matter in which of the sockets you put your plug in. They're just parallel, so, which is quite a nice feature of these buses. It's just a serial connection, I guess. So yeah, these are reflowed. So let's take care of the caps, shall we? So and these are 10 microfarad, 50 volts, so a bit better. Let's take 3 of those. And it's also good Panasonic caps, so they should last some decades, I guess. So let's not get the polarity wrong. So this should be the recap And of course there are no big caps in this because the big caps are the smoothing caps in the power supply. So the big caps you have probably seen in the 1541 video I did before, which I will link in here. There are these huge caps because the power supply is inside the old version of the 1541. So yeah, this is recapped. Let's see what we can do with the drive. We have to clean the head and stuff, I think, and lubricate it. So here's the drive itself, and yeah, as you can see, this is the version that doesn't have a rubber belt there, which is nice because it probably will last even longer. And this part here seems quite clean underneath there. Just go in there with the brush bit, and we have, of course, some dust in this area still. And we have the head here in the middle, which I will clean with the cotton swab. And I shall also lubricate these rails here where the head is moving on, because that's the thing that was stuck in the beginning. So what I'm going to do is to clean these with some alcohol, and then get as much of the old lubricant off there as I can, to then apply some silicone grease, which is the best you can do for these purposes where there are plastic parts in the vicinity of the parts you want to lubricate. Yeah, otherwise you can damage them if you use something. Someone suggested to use WD-40, which is not recommended at all because it's quite aggressive, really. It doesn't seem so at first glance, and it probably will work for some time, but this stuff dissolves plastics, basically, which is not what you want in a drive like this, of course. So I highly recommend using, where is it? Something like this, silicone grease, which is, yeah, it's a paste that you can apply to rails like this. To the spindle, I will use some silicone oil stuff. Oh, and here's also, this also has to go away. I will lubricate that. Ugh, that's a lot. So just clean off as much as I can here. Just, yeah. That's cleaned. I think I cleaned the head first to not risk ruining it by putting some silicone grease on there accidentally. What I'm going to do is to insert this cotton swab here and wait for a while to let the alcohol yeah, this is isopropanol alcohol. You can use this for cleaning most stuff, even for cleaning plastics. If you don't leave it on there for too long, it won't do any harm in my experience. Yeah, there's some. Let's use the other side, and then I use a clean cotton swab to polish it, so to say. So yeah, there's quite some dirt on top there. I guess get that off a bit. There's a little spongy thing there. And you don't want to bend this too far because there's this spring that will otherwise get worn out quite quickly. So let's see, let me use another cotton swab here to apply some of the silicone grease. Just a bit much there, just a little bit. And then later we are going to run a little program that will basically move the head back and forth. So I don't even know if it hurts to do it by hand, but I would rather let it be done by a computer program, so I won't damage it. Yeah, that's okay. So we should put some here, some more, I guess, because that's the part where this movement takes place, which should be greasy and smooth. So I should also put it on there. And I think I'm gonna use some silicone oily stuff on here and on here, but only very, very little, I hope. So there, just a drop there, just a drop too. So, and clean off the remainder. So it's just a little bit wet there. So this is much better already. So let's try from the other side here. So I guess you can just put some in there and it reaches the spindle at some point. Yeah, and the screeching sound we heard in the beginning is gone. So that's a good sign, probably. Okay, so let's see what the case does. So ever had this, painted this gold with some sort of paint, I don't know, and it's really hard to get it off, but I want to get it off because I don't like it. So I'm using alcohol and benzene. I'm never sure how this is pronounced in English or what this is called even. It's the stuff you put in lighters, in your Zippo lighter. Is it gasoline? It's basically the same as gasoline, so I'm just gonna call it gasoline, whatever you might think. So yeah, I'm having some success here, as you can see, but it's quite a bit of scrubbing. Yeah, it's already quite shiny there. Look at that. Nice. So that's definitely a lot better. So, but it clearly is yellowed from one side where the sun hit it. The other side is much whiter. Okay, so here's how this turned out. It's still a bit yellow. Maybe there's the protection film still on there. Kind of feels like it. There's the protection film on it. Let's get a close-up of that, at least. Yeah, these Commodore logo things, most of the times they had a little plastic protection over it. And yeah, here we go. Ah, good as new. Yeah, so it's quite yellow. I have to retrobrite it at some point if I feel the urge to do so. Yeah, and I think I'm just gonna put back the inside in there and try if it works. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it open like this to see the insides while it's working. If it's working, that is, of course. So, yeah, let's try. Okay, turning it on again. Let's see what's on this tool disk. Oh, it's very, very smooth. So I'm starting up the performance test, I guess. Okay, and it's now saying the drive passed the mechanical tests, which is of course nice. And it's not loud or anything, it's working quite smoothly, I guess. Yeah, and it also has passed the performance test, as it happens, which is nice, of course. So what I'm going to do next is to use the disk exerciser, which is basically just moving the head up and down, or back and forth rather, and you can sort of train that they are adjusted correctly. And yeah, I'm gonna start up the program and see what it does. I've already closed up the drive so you won't be able to see anything. So there, it tries to get the best time of reading there and moves the head. It's still quite yellow, isn't it? Initializing. So now the head is positioned in an optimal way. Yeah, so that's probably it for now. I'm gonna build a power supply for this, I think, or buy something that has the necessary voltages. And yeah, that's gonna be a separate video, I guess. So much for now. Thanks very much for watching. Give this a thumbs up and share this and comment on this. I'm happy to communicate with you. So, see you next time, hopefully. Thanks for watching. I'm Jan Beta. Goodbye.